Hi, I'm Kelly from Bonding Beauty, and today I'm going to show you how to do a quick makeup look using two of our pressed shadows in the color Toasted Marshmallow and Hot Cocoa. And for this I'm going to use a wet and dry technique. So for one process I'm going to use a slightly damp brush, and for another I'm going to use a dry application. So if you use a slightly damp brush on your makeup, make sure you either scrape it out and use a little bit on its own loose, or to keep open your compact so you allow it to dry out. So here we go, let's get started. I'm going to start first by using the damp technique with Toasted Marshmallow, and I'm going to get my brush wet, and then I'm going to dab off the excess on a paper towel, just so it's not sopping. And then I'm going to tap it into my eyeshadow, and I'm going to apply it all over the lid first. I don't know what that is. All over the lid first, and then I'm going to use what I have on the brush and on my eyelid, and I'm going to sweep it up towards my brow bone to give it more of a shape and to give it a gradient. It will pull out some of the undertones in this particular shadow. Alright, so obviously I'm going to want to go and do that same thing to the other lid. So I'm going to tap it in my eyeshadow and apply it across the lid. And then sweep it up towards my brow bone and up on my brow bone. It just kind of gives me the shape that I like. And again, brings out those undertones in this particular color. You know what I'm trying to say. Alright, now for the Hot Cocoa color, which again is this color here. For the Hot Cocoa color, I'm going to be using I believe it's called a shading brush for that. And I'm actually going to start applying it dry. So I'm going to dab that into the color. And then I'm going to start applying it in the outer corner of my eye. And I'm kind of going to line my eye first with it, just because that gives me the outer V shape that I like. And I'm going to bring that up from that outer corner into my crease a little bit, and then into the lid. This just allows me to create that shape a lot more easily. I'm going to use my blending brush, and I'm going to blend this hard line into the Toasted Marshmallow color onto my lid and in my crease. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat that on the other eye. So I'm going to dab it in my shadow. I'm going to line my eye, and then I'm going to bring that line up to my crease and into the lid a bit. This eye is a little bit harder for me to do, I apologize. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and blend that into the lid and the crease. And then if you really want, you can also use a wet technique with this, and you can get a much darker color. So I might add that just to the outer corners a little bit to get a darker range of this Hot Cocoa color. So I'm just using a damp brush, tapping it into the shadow, and you'll see that it creates a very vivid pigment. Oops, that was a bit too far. And I'm going to again blend. Okay. And do the same thing on the other side. This is just going to give you a little bit of a darker pigment on those outer edges. I apologize for my camera adjusting the lighting. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that again. Okay. So here you've got a pretty simple day look. And you can bring this into night easier, and I'll show you that in another tutorial that I might make next. And then my favorite thing to do is clean up the brows a little bit. And again, I might want some of that toasted marshmallow color back on my brow, but I just want to shape up that brown color first, so it's not too far up into the crease and up on my brow bone. Okay, and then I'm going to take the brush that had the toasted marshmallow on it and still has a little bit of it, so I'm going to go ahead and re-highlight up on my brow bone. Okay, so I will go and put some eyeliner on quickly to show you the full look, and then I will come back. I can't really put eyeliner on in the camera, so I apologize for that. Okay, so that's what we got so far, and we'll see what it looks like coming back. Alright, I'm back. Oops. And here's how it looks with the final touch of eyeliner. And I think it looks pretty good, especially for doing it quickly with 2 colors. So that's my very quick fall eyeshadow tutorial. I want to try and get you a better look of the coloring. There you go. So there's the fall eyeshadow look. Done in only 7 minutes, and pretty simple. You can glam this up by making it a bit darker using more of that hot cocoa color, or by adding some fake lashes. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll look forward to making another tutorial soon. Goodbye!